Larry Sharpe has traveled the country and has personally visited every county in New York State, listening to people's concerns. The Sharpe Way is a show where answers, solutions, and common ground can be found so that together we can forge a new way forward. The Sharpe Way is the way to mutual respect, where no one has to convert to be heard, because you can be as liberal or as conservative as you want, as long as you aren't forcing your beliefs on others. Welcome to Sharpe Way Radio.
Oh, yes, it is Larry Sharpe. Sharpe Way Radio, WYSL, Rochester, New York. The number to call in the chat with me after the first break, 585-346-3000. Yeah, a lot of things are happening across New York, I'm sure. You hear about it often. But there's one piece I wanted to bring up. And sometimes people say, Larry, how do you get your ideas? Well, sometimes I find them online. Sometimes my team helps me to give me ideas. And sometimes people just like DM me stuff. All types of stuff happens for reasons to give me to actually, talk about what I want to talk about. But very often I just notice something walking around my neighborhood, being in the city, something like that. Well, I thought about a story myself, again, as I often talk about myself on this show. I hope you like that. If you don't know why you're listening. But anyway, I do often. Makes me think about 2017. In 2017, I was already tired of New York City. I was already tired of New York State. I was ready to get out of here. I was like, I'm done. Tired of having to fight so hard. My business was destroyed in 2010. That's not true. It was destroyed in 2009 from the crash, but I didn't see it and try to fix it till 2010. I sat in denial for a year while I had to fire my employees, shut my business down, and everything collapsed around me. But when I finally pulled my head out of my you-know-what and started to get my act together and rebuild my life, by the time 2017 came, I was like, you know what? Why am I doing it here? I can do this anywhere. What am I doing? I just need a big city to do what I do. If you know what I do, I'm a consultant. It's what I do, business and now politics too, but mostly business. I thought, where am I going to go? I'm going to pack up and leave the city, but I've got to be by a big city so I can still make money, right? That's how I pay my bills. Family of 4, wife doesn't work. I got to make some cash. So then I head on over down to North Carolina because I think that perhaps Charlotte is my answer. So I visited Charlotte in 2017, went around, drove my car around, visited some housing, all types of stuff. And I found out, my God, it was great there. I could sell my shoebox of a home in Queens, buy a mansion in North Carolina, pay less taxes, have more space. Oh my God, this is great. Still have businesses that I could work for, still make money. Okay, still feed my family. Life is good. Why didn't you leave? I didn't leave. Because when I went around there and I came back home to New York, I got angry. I didn't move. I got angry. And I said, why does my city suck? Why does my state suck? I have a state that is more beautiful than North Carolina. No shade, North Carolina. You have a wonderful state. Particularly Western North Carolina before the floods, obviously, but beautiful state. But you can't beat New York State. Everything is in it. Wonderful mountains, farmland, hunting, fishing, rivers, lakes, Niagara Falls, Broadway, New York Yankees. Yes, I said Yankees. All of the things that you could want is here in this wonderful state. Beaches, you name it, it's here. Why do I have to leave where I'm born? Why do I have to leave where my family is? Why do I have to leave where I built my business? Why do I have to leave where my friends are? Why do I have to leave? Because my government sucks. That's why. My state's wonderful and my government sucks. And I thought, okay, I'm going to run for governor and I'm going to fix things. I wish I was joking. I actually thought that. So I thought I'm going to run for governor and I'm going to fix things. And I ran in 2018. I was so serious, for those of you who remember, I didn't work for a year and a half. I simply took off, did not work for a year and a half. I raised $500,000, fought and worked every day for a year and a half. When I was done with that campaign, I was six figures in debt. Not because I had spent the money, because I hadn't paid for any of my bills for a year and a half. Nothing. And I had, again, family of four, wife doesn't work. You can imagine what my bills were. So I was six figures in debt. Didn't care. I was in a fixed estate. Got my 2%, 100,000 votes, got ballot access. Thought, okay, I've done something, right? Then the next year, I covered the state. We had 107 local victories across New York State. Libertarian Party was on the move. And the Democrats in this party, in this state said, oh, no, we cannot have that happen. And they immediately changed the rules in the middle of a cycle and destroyed my party. Wrecked everything. All gone. Everything I built, gone. I saw the corruption. I saw how bad this was. And I thought about leaving again. I did. I thought, you know what? I'm out. I can't do this. What am I doing? I sacrificed a year and a half of my life, six figures in debt, repaying that off over the next 2 years, deciding how am I going to make this happen? And they destroy it without caring, nonchalantly. Just to hell with you. Doesn't matter. I said, I'm out. And I thought this time, all right, not going to go to North Carolina. I'm going to go to Tennessee. I'm going to go to Chattanooga. That's the place, Chattanooga. 2 hours from Atlanta, 2 hours from Nashville. So I have cities and hubs if I need to get to a hub or a city. It's a smaller town compared to New York. Every place is a small town. But yeah, I can still deal with it. I can do my job here. By the time in 2017, most of my work was not remote. So I had to physically go places. By 2020, 2021, with the lockdowns and everything, almost everything was remote. So I was like, I don't have to be in a big city. I have to be close to one in case I have to fly someplace or something. So I thought Chattanooga's the answer. I'll do that. But then I started getting angry again. Because that's when I started Sharpe Way Radio. That's when I started the Sharpe Way Show. And all of a sudden, when I was talking about lockdowns and how bad things were, I got shadow banned horribly. I was getting thousands of views on one platform. Overnight, once I started saying, mandates bad, that's all I had to say. Mandates bad. I wasn't anti anything except the mandates. Just don't force stuff. Duh, I'm a libertarian. Of course I would say that, right? It's what I think. That's why I would say it. And all of a sudden, I went from 5,000 views to 500 overnight. Now, my daughter, who's younger than me, obviously, that was a dumb thing. My daughter, who's a youngster, yes, she's a youngster, was like, no, Dad, you probably just are a bad podcaster. That's what it is. I said, look at my numbers. So I had to look through it. She's like, wow, you're shadow banned. Yes, on everything. So I had to all of a sudden multiply 8 times. And now I have to go live on 8 different platforms to get the same number of views that I used to get with one. I got angry again. That's not good when I get angry. What's that saying? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. That was what happened. So I ran again. And this time I was $40,000 in debt and got nothing. I got sued off the ballot. This time, not by Democrats, but by Republicans. They sued me off the ballot. So both did. So I was mad. And I thought, that's it. What am I going to do now? Am I going to leave now? And again, I stayed. What is wrong with me? But here's what I noticed as I kept staying. When I kept crossing the state, and you guys know I cross the state every year, 6 times already in a row, gone to every single county in New York State, whether I run or not, just to keep up on New York State, meet people, keep people in a loop, know the state well, understand what's happening, see the towns. That's why I'm able to do so much. That's why I'm so good at predicting what happens in New York State, because I'm around the state all the time. And what I noticed was a lot of my supporters are gone. I stay and they leave. And I don't have enough people to keep it going because they keep leaving. This is the hardest part. People keep leaving. All the time I hear, we got to change New York, change New York. It's hard to change New York when people leave. The people who want change are voting with their feet or with the U-Haul, whatever you want to call it. And it's challenging. Now, I'm not mad at people for leaving. I'm not. I get it. I want to leave too. If it wasn't for me being stupid enough to run for governor, I probably would have left already. And I get it. And there's people who want to leave but can't. 3 things could be stopping them if it isn't money. Many people can't afford to move, just can't afford it. They're stuck where they are because of their financial situation. But even if it isn't, 3 things keep people here. An elderly parent who won't move or is ill. So you don't leave because you care about your parent. So you stay until that parent passes. Then you leave. Or 2, got to retire. Got your pension here or something, work for the state, got a pension from a company, whatever. You're not going to lose your pension. So you stay until you retire. Then, boom, pack up and leave. My mom did that. Yep, she died in South Carolina because you couldn't retire here. Or 3, you've got a kid in college or high school, and you're waiting to get your kids out of college or out of high school. Then they're going to go someplace because they don't stay here. So they leave. So you leave too. Boop, gone. That's not how this state should be. I saw a stat that showed that 1 year, over 500,000 people, I think it was 2022, I think. I don't remember this. I don't remember what year it was, but it was recently. Now we're averaging about 300,000 people leaving every single year. This is unsustainable for the state. They can't. You might go, Larry, the reason why is because all these Democrats ruined everything. Well, that's true because Democrats have run it, but it isn't just Democrats. It's the system itself that's broken. The number one reason why people leave is because of the quality of life. Number one reason. Is there any place growing? Yeah. College towns. Yes. College towns are still growing. People are still falling into college towns. That's true in New York State. Some of them are still growing. It's true. Almost every other place. One more. Sorry. College towns and, of course, the Albany area. Why would the Albany area grow? I'm going to tell you why they're growing and why New York City is the worst. Losing more than anything is New York City and, by the way, Western New York. Those who are losing more than everybody. Why? I'll tell you. 585-346-3000. Sharpe Radio, WYSL, Rochester, New York. Back with your calls, those answers, and your chat. I see you after the break.
Introducing a sobering and unavoidable truth. The latest advancements in artificial intelligence have made cyber attacks easier than ever before. Cyber criminals are relentlessly targeting your business right now, seeking the tiniest opening in your defenses to drain your accounts and steal sensitive
So, Larry,
data.
I'd be happy to
Your
come back with an oldie
finances
but
and
goodie
your
Cuomo
customers'
clip
trust
or an
are on
Eric
the
Adams.
line. Call the experts at Simple Tech Innovations now at 585-999-TECH to secure your business today. Don't wait until it's too late. Make the call today. 585-999-TECH.
Dion, you see this most likable spokesperson poll?
Really? I might know somebody. Oh, we're looking forward to this today, aren't we?
Seriously, guys. We're a team. We're not competing against each other.
Ooh, who's a good spokesperson?
2 puppies?
I did not expect that from you.
Ooh, one of them's for you. Oh, there you go. Ooh, who's a good spokesperson? Yes, go Team West Her. Oh.
Welcome to West New York.
Hi, my name is Evan Spindleman, founder and owner of Flood Broker. Flood insurance premiums are skyrocketing, and if you have to have flood insurance coverage to secure your mortgage, you owe it to yourself to call me to see how I can save you money on your flood insurance premium. The insurance programs I use
have you seen that meme?
Satisfy your loan requirement. Please give me a call.
Oh, the one that's got Andrew Cuomo's head going through the door like The Shining?
To get a free, no obligation quote. That's 585-736-4366. Call today.
Sharpe Radio on the WYSL stations.
We're not going to make America great again. It was never that great. We will reach greatness when every American is fully engaged.
Well, I'm not sure about all that. But he did go out of his way to make sure New York wasn't great. And he was successful at that. Absolutely. And Hochul hasn't really helped. Absolutely. Larry Sharpe here. Sharpe Radio, WYSL, Rochester, New York. 585-346-3000. And I've been chatting about New York State and people leaving and how tough it is. And I want to bring up a couple of things. Number one, the quality of life in New York is very tough, particularly New York City, but also upstate too. You spend so much money, get so little, and the hits just keep coming. Everything gets harder and harder and harder to do. It's harder to live. It's harder to make your way. And that's before inflation. Remember, I was talking about, I'm sorry, there's always been inflation. That's before the recent surge in inflation. How about that? That's a better way of saying it. It's before that. And all of a sudden, people like, well, it's because, it's because of just this Biden or just because Trump or whatever. No. This has been happening for decades. New York State has been the least growing state for decades. Now it's actually the one that's losing the most population. Again, that's been for at least since the lockdowns. You go, well, it was the bug, the virus. No, it wasn't. It was not that. All the states had the bug. All of them did. Not just New York. They all did. It was the lockdowns that New York did. That's what it was. That exacerbated everything. It pushed people away. It pushed people out. Now, I know New York City specifically is still desirable for many people. How do I know that? Tourism is up. I say it all the time. Please come visit my city. It's a great city to visit. I mean, don't live here. You're crazy to come live here. You're insane to come live here. I mean, you just are. I don't know why I live here. I'm crazy too, clearly. But please come visit my city. It's amazing to visit. I say it all the time. It's true. We have great things here for you to come see. History, all types of things. And people get it. But people who are coming here are from all the places, and also former New Yorkers who miss those cool things, but just don't want to live here. They would rather spend the money
Northern New
on
York.
a vacation. They would rather spend the money on a vacation here than to live here. This is how bad it is. Quality of life is a critical issue. It's loud, it's crowded, it's messy, and it's just gotten worse. People come to visit here who've been here before come back and go, wow, the city's worse. Because it is. It keeps getting worse. It keeps it more expensive. The average home in New York City is only about 800 square feet. And the average cost is over $3,000 a month. Think about that. Across the country, 2,000 square feet, $2,000 a month, average. Wow. Big difference. Grab a call if I could. This is John. John, how are you, sir?
I am good. How about you?
I'm good. What's going on?
Things, a handful of things. So, hang on. I'm watching you, and there's background noise. Okay.
Are you still there?
I'm still here. Let me, hang on. I'm ready.
Okay. Maybe call back when you're in a better spot?
Yeah, let me do that.
Okay, thanks. All right, so I'll keep.
He was from Northern New York.
So my issue here was, now what am I thinking? Should I leave? Now I'm thinking maybe New Hampshire. Now, why did I think Tennessee and then New Hampshire? Why did I put those two things together? Because Tennessee, there's no income tax. New Hampshire, no income tax. Both those things are no income tax. So what does that do? That lowers my cost of living, because that's the second reason why people leave. They leave because quality of life, which is often home. Home isn't number one, but it's a big deal. Second is cost of living, how expensive it is to live here, to get around, to do things. So you have a low quality of life and a high cost of living. Why would you stay? Because New York is a great state. That's true. But these things are all bad. So what have been the answers of the government? Well, the answer is teach Black kids to swim. I wish I was joking. That was on the top list of our governor, Her Majesty Queen Hochul, first of her name. One of her number one goals was this year, literally, to teach Black kids to swim. Now, I love if Black kids swim. That's good. I think it's great. When I was a black kid, I couldn't swim. Now I'm a black man. But when I was a black kid, I had trouble swimming. It's true. I think that's a wonderful thing. Do I think that should be one of the top priorities of the governor in New York when New York is dying? No, not at all. Let some nonprofits handle that. Let black families handle that. Let black neighborhoods and communities handle that. That's a good thing. Maybe talk about it. That's nice. Hey, black communities, let's get some black kids to swim. Okay, wonderful. Not against it. Priority. You might go, Larry, that sounds crazy. She must be virtue signaling. Oh, she is, but not for the reason you think. She wants to make sure her buddies get construction contracts to build a bunch of new pools across New York State with government money. That's the grift. So that's the grift. So her response to New York dying is grift. To be forward, her response to everything is grift. They know the empire is falling. They know it's burning. They just keep grabbing before it all goes. The reason why I bring this up is because if we don't change the system, nothing changes. I know some of you think, well, if we just get the other guy in, same system. If I just vote my guy in or my gal in, same system. It doesn't change. That's the problem. That is the issue. And people aren't seeing it. We can vote our way out of it. We can. It's possible. If we vote out of the two-party system into an actual system.
John, North Country.
If we do things like that, then we'll be okay. Let me try one more time to get John if I can. John, how are you, sir?
I am good. How about you, Larry?
Good. What's going on? Talk to me.
Okay, so two things. Last night's show, I had the thought that I think we need Elon Musk's help in the state of New York. I don't think he has any investments here.
He has in the past. Elon Musk has grifted off of New York State a lot in the past. Under Cuomo, and was it under Spitzer? I don't remember if he grifted off of Spitzer, but he has grifted much off of us. He has.
Okay. Would he invest more, though? Would he invest more?
Would he invest more? My gut says he would not. And here's the reason why I think he would not. The Musk now has become a boogeyman for Democrats. He's now a bad guy. He's the one who's going to fix the election for Trump. He's that guy now. So if Hochul's a very good Democratic soldier, and one reason why she's so successful. For her to actually accept Musk into the state in any way, shape, or form, I think would be a betrayal of Elon bad. So my gut says no. Do you understand my logic behind that?
I do. Yep. Okay.
I'm not saying you're wrong in that he wouldn't help. I'm saying this is not about help. This is about politics. I don't think she'd say yes to it.
To figure out a way to get him here, that would be the trick, right?
Yep.
So a next project, I want you to start a show, and I want you to be a show that would be a contrast to The View. And I'd like the title of it to be called A Better View.
Okay, so do you want me to get like four more women or like four more men or some mix?
A mix, but the three that come to mind are Megyn Kelly, Nicole Shanahan, and Tulsi Gabbard.
If I could put that show together, I'd do it tomorrow. If I could do that, I would do it tomorrow. Tomorrow. That you're right. That'd be an amazing show. I would do it tomorrow. Yes. But don't you have to have five? I got to get like one more. I got to find one more. Then yes. But fine. Whatever. I'll take whoever. I'll take Whoopi Goldberg. Right, and that'll be a fun show. We'll grab her. What do you think?
Okay. I'm okay with that.
You're like, okay, you don't care. You're like me. I would take that show in a heartbeat, my friend. That's a wonderful idea.
Right. I'm wondering by you.
All right. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. All right. So I got to come with the show now. A Better View. It probably would be. What did you think? I think it would be too. It's not a bad idea, John. I don't think Elon's coming to us, though. I don't. He came here. He saw we were grifting. He jumped in on the grift with everybody else. He's gone doing other things now. I'm not sure he's going to join us. We'll see. Am I wrong? You can tell me. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharpe on Sharpe Radio, WYSL, Rochester, New York. Back with your calls and more of your chat after the break.
Soros-free talk radio.
WYSL.
27,000 watt AM 1040, FM 92.1, FM 95.5.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center. For tonight, showers likely, breezy and chilly in the 30s, low 40s. Maybe a wet snowflake mixed in the hills on Wednesday. Showers likely in the morning, slowly clearing in the afternoon. Another cool day in the 40s. On Thursday, could be a bit of a frosty start, and then we'll have a nice afternoon. Better chance for some sunshine, temperatures in the 50s. I'm Rich Cornelia, WYSL.
Temperatures might be falling, but the deals are hot as ever at Victor Chevrolet, the new leader for Chevy in Rochester, Canandaigua, and Fairport. Check out these great lease specials. Go anywhere on the road or off in your new 2024 Chevy Silverado LT Crew Cab. Just $349 a month for 27 months. And the 2024 Chevy Equinox LT all-wheel drive, only $229 a month for 27 months. Or how about a 2024 Chevy Trailblazer LT all-wheel drive, only $199 a month for 27 months. These specials require Tier 1 credit approval and current lease and household. Mileage allowance 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents each additional mile, $2,500 cash or trade equity plus first payment and DMV fees required at closing. Get more details at dealer. And don't forget, Victor Chevrolet also has an unbeatable pre-owned selection. Whatever brand of vehicle you're driving, you can trust it to our Chevy certified service department. Come see how easy it is to do business with us. Victor Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Route 96 in Victor. Visit victorchevrolet.com.
Bob Savage here for Aaron Moore. As you feel those dropping temps, I invite you to do what we do here at WYSL. Slash your heating costs this season with Aaron Moore infrared zone heaters. They can save you big compared to just using your furnace. It's how we stay comfy here at Radio Ranch. Aaron Moore heats healthier. No burning of oxygen and particulates to dry out your nose and skin. You get even quiet heat that fills rooms with warmth, not dust and blower noise. Aaron Moore heaters are completely safe. No hot surfaces or heating elements to pose shock or fire hazards, plus complete safety for children and pets. For a limited time, save $30 on either size Aaron Moore, and either the Comfort Deluxe size or the Compact Comfort Buddy for smaller areas. Specify discount code WYSL in your shopping cart. Free shipping in the continental U.S., and you'll never have to replace any bulbs because of Aaron Moore copper PTC technology. Maintenance-free Aaron Moore infrared zone heaters are the way to really save on heating bills. Call 800-707-8725 or visit air-more.com.
Introducing a sobering and unavoidable truth. The latest advancements in artificial intelligence have made cyber attacks easier than ever before. Cyber criminals are relentlessly targeting your business right now, seeking the tiniest opening in your defenses to drain your accounts and steal sensitive data. Your finances and your customers' trust are on the line. Call the experts at Simple Tech Innovations now at 585-999-TECH to secure your business today. Don't wait until it's too late. Make the call today. 585-999-TECH.
For the last couple of years, Joe Robach has been telling you about Flower City Collision in Henrietta, saying that it was started by a veteran along with his son, Zach. Hi, my name is Greg Sadwick, and I am that veteran. I want to thank the WYSL listeners for their support over the last couple of years. During those years, not only have I experienced the gratification of providing you the best repairs and customer service, it has also allowed me the opportunity to see my son develop as a young professional. So remember, Flower City Collision for your collision repair needs. And thank you for supporting our locally owned family business.
The following is brought to you by the Allegheny County Scope.
A federal district court judge has struck down as unconstitutional a provision from the 2022 Concealed Carry Improvements Act, which tried to prevent concealed carry on private property open to the public. The court characterized the law as one of the policy choices taken off the table by the 2008 U.S. Supreme Court decision of District of Columbia versus Heller.
Consider joining Allegheny County Scope 716-913-8176.
Do you ever question how much value you get for the money you spend? Funerals can be expensive, and you should feel confident getting what you paid for. Bartolomeo and Parado Funeral Home promises to deliver. From expert guidance to a warm, inviting facility, they handle the details during a difficult time. Their priority is helping to create a meaningful tribute for your loved one and for you to feel that you spent wisely. When you're in need, call Bartolomeo and Parado Funeral Home, 585-720-6000.
Hey, looking for that unique gift for that special someone? Visit National Warplane's online gift shop. Items you won't find anywhere else. Visit nationalwarplanemuseum.com. Click on gift shop.
Sharpe Way Radio on the WYSL stations.
Oh, yes, it is Larry Sharpe. Sharpe Way Radio, WYSL, Rochester, New York, 585-346-300. So happy you give me a small chunk of your afternoon. I have been talking about people packing up and leaving New York State. It isn't just New York, though. California, too. Illinois, also. All of them are leaving, packing up and going someplace else. You see it growing. They have been flowing into Florida, but that's starting to happen to change a bit. In fact, I told you about this years ago, and I found this out when I went to North Carolina. Now some people are recognizing the name, the moniker, halfback. New Yorkers who live in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, sometimes Georgia, are called halfbacks. Why do they call them halfbacks? Because they moved to Florida, didn't like Florida, and moved halfway back. So North Carolina, South Carolina, like that. So they're actually called halfbacks. And that's the thing, too. People leaving Florida now. Florida got such a glutton of people just flooded in there. Now Florida's starting to struggle because Florida also has no state income tax. And so people said, okay, it ain't worth it. So we're getting out of here. And they're falling back and they're going either Georgia. Most are going to North Carolina, South Carolina. That's most. But they're going all over. They're leaving. Some are going to Tennessee. But a lot of people from California are going to Tennessee and Texas. That's a big deal. Again, no state income tax. You would think no state income tax would be something that would motivate people to stay. If you remember when I ran in 2022, I had a plan to remove over 4 years, no state income tax. Yeah. That plan was still out there. It was on my website. I'm trying to remember which New York politician picked up that plan. It was, none of them come with that plan at all. None did that. None at all. Yeah, none at all. Why would that matter? Lowering state income tax makes things easier. And I'll bring up some things that will make some of you unhappy, but I got to be very forward. The guy who actually made me think about this directly was someone who calls in often, a guy named Roger Meadows. He actually calls in, comes on my show at night sometimes too, texts in. But he's the one who brought this up to my attention through DMs, believe it or not. And I got what he was saying. And he wanted to make sure I didn't just beat up on the lefties. He didn't want me to just beat up on the lefties. It's the lefties' fault too. I'm not just beating up on lefties. It's the righties, the lefties, it's the everybody E's. All the E's. It's everybody's messing up. But the point he wanted to bring up was, if we actually had better policies that made things easier for people, they might stay. He's right. That's accurate. If people felt that there could be change, they'd probably stay. He's right. He talks about things all the time like citizen ballot initiatives to change rules and laws and get rid of laws and fix things. He's right. If people thought they could make change, they'd stay. That's why I stayed. I thought I could change things by running for governor. Well, that didn't work. But I thought, that's why I stayed. If people believe there's hope, if they can make change, they'll stay. Patty brings up something often. She talks about how tough it is where she is, how tough it is in her world. Taxes that she's paying, things that she's dealing with it. She says right now, New York is killing me, Larry. Literally killing me living here. Yeah. What if you paid your taxes and you actually got stuff that worked for it? Now, look, I don't want to pay taxes. I'm libertarian, but I'm being realistic. We're going to pay taxes in New York State. Okay. How about give me something that works? Roger often brings up, why do we pay city tax, state tax, all these types of taxes, high property taxes, and a New York City special New York City tax, and the subways don't work and we still got to pay for them? If I'm paying all this tax, why aren't my subways free? He's not wrong. Or lower my taxes and let me pay for a subway. Either way, but I am paying crazy taxes and I got to pay for a subway and it doesn't work very well. And when they want to fix it, what do? They don't do the most important thing. And this goes back to me always that I keep saying. In New York City, if you want to make the trains run on time, you have to fix the switches. Anyone who knows New York City knows that. The switches are a problem. Some of them are like decades, if not 100 years old. You got to fix them. So what do we spend our money on? Elevators and making them more pretty so that they can be destroyed anyway by graffiti and such. But we do that. So we spend millions and millions of dollars on that. Why? Because, yes, I'm going to go grift. To fix the switches, it's just MTA employees who are being paid to go fix switches. That's it. There's no grift involved in that. But if you got to put in elevators and modernize, make things look nice, well, that's outside consultants. That's outside construction companies. That's extra money that now the governor and or the mayor have to give out jobs to. That's grift. There's grift in beautification. There's no grift in efficiency. I know some of your minds just exploded, but that's true. Efficiency is just paying the MTA workers to go do that. Now, before, I'm not mad at MTA workers. They're doing what they're being told to do. Leadership is telling them what to do. I'm sure MTA workers will go out of their way and fix all the switches. If they said, go fix all the switches, they would do it. Of course they would. They're MTA workers. They're trying to fix the MTA. They'll do what they're told to do. Of course. They're not told to do that. Do other stuff. Let's go spend money on this or that. Well, maybe I might have to spend overtime on some of the MTA employees to fix the switches. Well, if my choice is pay overtime to an MTA employee to fix switches or pay some outside company to put in an elevator, I'm going to go with the switches. But Larry, you understand that people need an elevator. I agree. So now they'll get an elevator, go to a subway that won't come on time, or will have somebody in it that may hurt them. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. Let me grab a couple comments off the interwebs. I appreciate that. So, Roger's on. He says, come on, Larry, go ahead and tell your audience who gave you the idea. I did. I just did. See that? I just did. Mike says, people leave due to taxes, restricted freedoms, lack of connection to leadership, high crime, government focus on illegal aliens is a priority, worse business-friendly state. There are more reasons too. Yes, for the average person, though, they don't see business friendliness being an issue because the average person isn't a business owner. But it does affect them. They just don't see it. They think, who cares about that? Just give me stuff. Make my life happier. Well, if you have a business-friendly state, you have more small businesses giving more people more opportunities to work for companies they want to work for. Too many New Yorkers work for a company only because it's a good job, not because of a job they want. That's a problem because what happens? You have unhappy workers. And I'm not mad at someone for doing it, but you see it constantly. Yeah, I'm going to go work for the school system. Why? Because you care about education? No. Because you care about kids? No. Why? Good job. I get it. You got to pay your bills. Not mad at you for that. Go pay your bills, please. But I'd like you instead to have a whole lot of options. So the person who works for the school system goes, why you don't work for the school system? Oh, because I care about education, love kids. Oh, great. Go do that. You'll be happy. But what winds up happening? You work for the school system because it's the best job you can get. You don't really care about it. You don't really like it into it. It's drudgery for you. You do it for 30 years or whatever because you have to, because it pays your bills and you're unhappy. And that happens in your life. That crosses over into your marriage if you're married, or your kids if you're parenting, all those things. And they're unhappy. A friendly business state does matter. It gives individual New Yorkers more options to pick jobs, not only that are good enough to pay your bills, but that you actually want to have. You don't feel trapped. You mean New Yorkers feel trapped? I can't leave. Why? I got this job. There's no way into the job like this. But you hate your job. All you do is complain all day. No, but I can't leave. What do you do is complain. I know, but I can't leave. Get not mad at that person. They got bills to pay. But now they're stuck. You mean New Yorkers are that way? Talk to them. Tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands, feeling that way. So yes, the focus of illegal aliens on priority and connection to leadership, I think, are connected. They're connected, Mike. Most New Yorkers feel like they have no say in the government, like their vote doesn't matter, like their voice doesn't matter. And again, I feel, if I feel like my voice matters, if I feel like I can make impact, I'll stay to make impact. So I talk about it all the time. Larry, why don't you run for this? Larry, run for that. Because I'll make no impact. Larry, run for city council of New York City. Okay, I win as a council seat. I mean, even if I could, I'd make no impact. Nothing. I would just have a seat. Okay, I won something. Yay. That's not good enough for me. If I can't make impact, why am I doing it? And everybody thinks that in some way, shape, or form. And then restricted freedoms. You brought it up too. Americans, New Yorkers too, but just Americans in general, we very often will surrender our freedoms if we think it's for a good cause. We will. We do it all the time. But what's it actually for? Nothing. It doesn't get better. So, I mean, look, I don't want to give them up at all. Again, I'm a libertarian. I want to give up none of them. I'm fine living in a world where we get a lot of freedoms and other stuff. Fine. But I know most people don't think the way I think. I accept that as true. And people will give up freedoms. They will. But they want something in return. If I'm giving you my freedom, make life better. But you give it the freedom and nothing gets better. But then you don't get your freedom back. Wait a minute. I gave you the freedom. Life's supposed to be better now. It's not. So give me my freedoms back. Oh, no, you don't get them back. Sorry. That's the worst part. And I went back to taxes already. And this is to Roger's point. Again, I don't want to pay them. I'm just being forward. If, for the vast majority of New Yorkers, if we paid this amount of tax and every one of our kids was coming out of high school a rocket scientist, which with the amount of money we pay, they should. Every kid should come out of New York State high schools a rocket scientist or an engineer. Everyone should come out. If that was actually happening, if I could go on my subway and feel safe and clean and it was always on time, most New Yorkers be okay paying taxes. If there were job opportunities everywhere and I could pick and choose my job and work at a place that I want to go work, that I feel good about it and it's not drudgery, I would do it. So it is the taxes, but we're not getting anything for it. That's the key. We're not connected. We can't hear our voice. Business environment is weak, so we don't have good opportunities. And we're paying taxes for nothing. That's why we're leaving. That's why I keep running. That's why I keep talking. Let's just pack up and leave. No, I'm staying. You didn't get rid of me yet. 585-346-3000 is the number. Larry Sharpe on Sharpe Way Radio, WYSL, Rochester, New York. Back with more of your chat. I do see you. I'll get more of you and your calls after the break.
Introducing a sobering and unavoidable truth. The latest advancements in artificial intelligence have made cyber attacks easier than ever before. Cyber criminals are relentlessly targeting your business right now, seeking the tiniest opening in your defenses to drain your accounts and steal sensitive data. Your finances and your customers' trust are on the line. Call the experts at Simple Tech Innovations now at 585-999-TECH to secure your business today. Don't wait until it's too late. Make the call today. 585-999-TECH.
I'm Greece Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Joe Robach. If you're looking to market and grow your business, make new business connections, and give back to the community in a meaningful way, consider joining the Greece Regional Chamber. We are the largest suburban chamber in Monroe County, and we offer networking, education, marketing, insurance, and advocacy. You do not need to live or work in Greece to join. Our members come from throughout the region. In short, we are better together, and together we can move your business forward. Visit greecechamber.org or call 585-227-7272 to join today. You'll be glad you did.
Avon Gun and Hunting Supply, a locally owned and operated gun shop here for your hunting needs. With changes in New York State laws, they'll work with you to fulfill your needs. Open from 10 a.m. Tuesday through Saturday, Avon Gun, East Main Street, next to Tompkins Community Bank.
Hey, this is Stryker that calls into WYSL's PCP Boys. I'd love to have you come listen to my podcast, Just an Old Guy with a Mic. If you like the content of WYSL, I think you'll like my podcast. Just an Old Guy with a Mic.
Roger.
Podbean, Spotify, and Amazon podcast apps.
Sharpe Radio on the WYSL stations.
Oh, yes, it is Larry Sharpe. Sharpe Radio, WYSL, Rochester, New York. So happy you give me a small chunk of your afternoon. Man, we've been talking about New York State and people leaving New York State all over the place, why they leave, and why, sadly, many of them are not coming back. They just are not coming back. So speaking of that, I do want to grab one more chat here. Pinkabell, how are you? She says, no state income tax in Texas either. Land is cheap and abundant if you're willing to leave 2 hours from anything where cows outnumber people. Ask me how I know. Well, yeah, well, it's also a large state, right? Texas is obviously a huge state. New York's a pretty big state too, but not like Texas. I mean, Texas is probably twice what New York is. I don't know. It's a big state. I know it's a big state. So yeah, and that's the reason why people live there. They move there. A lot of people from California move into Texas because they want a bit more freedom. I get it. It makes them feel better. They feel like they get more. Some people think Texas is becoming a purple state. I'm not sure that's true, but I could see that happening. I could see enough, because of the land, I could see enough people who would come from blue states to move to Texas and to eventually turn it purple. I could see that. Maybe. Let me grab a call. Oh, and he is the man of the hour himself, Roger. How are you, sir?
Hey, Larry.
You thought I wasn't going to give you credit.
So check this out. I understand people are desperate, but can we stop depending on millionaires and billionaires to come save us, please? I mean, these people don't give a 6-letter of the alphabet about us poor and low-income working-class people. All these rich people do is take advantage to grift off the system to our disadvantage. True. What you just mentioned about elevators and beautifications instead of making things work would just add to that. It proves my point. Yep. It is going to be up to us across all political spectrums to make this state the envy of all others. And the only way we can make that happen is to get enough state lawmakers in both chambers of the state legislature that are independent, who wish to put an amendment before the people to make us a citizen-initiated constitutional amendment state. Business friendly runs antithetical to what's friendly for workers. Worker cooperatives is the only thing you can do to bring the polar opposites of business-friendly and worker-friendly together. Okay.
Why can't we do that? You know I'm not against worker co-ops. You and I have discussed this in detail.
I'm going on my spiel. Okay, now, okay, go ahead. Now, for a challenge for you, Larry, you did, for the past 4 days, past week, you went on a tear unraveling how business is done in New York State. Yep. In terms of the corruption and all that stuff and favors. I would like to know, if we were a citizen ballot initiative state, what initiatives would you push to begin to unravel the process of transitioning away from corruption?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I think I would do. If you create any type of commission at all, you don't want the government putting those people on a commission. Any commissions should be somehow either election or some type of selection by the local people involved, right? I want communities involved in any commissions. What we do now is, as you know, when we have a commission, we go, oh, there's a new commission out. Great. The governor picks it. I was talking about the Empire State Development the other day, and the governor picks everything. Well, I don't want that. If you're going to have some form of commission that's going to help put in business, okay, great. Then have it at a local level and have local people somehow decide. They decide by voting, okay. They decide by, people who are in the school district, whatever. Find an answer That is not just governor picks their cronies, because what will that mean? That will mean two things. The people in a commission will actually be accountable to the local community, and they're not now. And number two, the governor has no power over it, which means she won't make random commissions, which she makes all the time. So the random commissions will go away because she has no incentive to do so. And commissions that exist will be accountable to the local people in some way, shape, and form. That's one of the first things I do, because our state's filled with commissions. That's what I would do.
So that's it. I know you got more than that. I mean, that was good.
I know, but the show is
it.
only an hour long, my friend. I could do 3 hours on this. I gave you one.
You should.
Isn't that good enough?
Okay. You know what? Your next show, have a list for me. That's your homework assignment.
I got to make a list now for you.
Yes.
Roger, I appreciate the call, brother. Thank you.
All right.
Yes. No, Roger is correct. I mean, I know a lot of people, I know him and often Mike often go back and forth and stuff, but he's correct on this. We have to fix this. It's got to be at some level. And I am tired of all the commissions being popped up, and every commission is, filled by the governor's friends. If you're going to make a commission that decides what happens at a local level, the perfect example is, I'll go back to the grifting of Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk is a smart guy, whether you like him or not. If he's a bad guy, good guy, whatever. Clearly a smart guy. He came to New York. I think he had to make, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was solar panels. I think that's what it was. Took a bunch of money from New York State, because New York State said, we'll pay you a bunch of money to make solar panels. He took a bunch of money, said, thanks for the money, made some panels, and then the money ran out, and he left. Thanks for the cash, and left. Am I mad at Elon for that? No. If it wasn't him, it was somebody else. That was one of the systems I talk about. The grift. The money got paid out. People owed the governor. I think it was Cuomo. Pretty sure it was Cuomo. It might have been Spitzer, but I think it was Cuomo. And then gone. That's the norm. Now, who decided where it went? Some commission that the governor set up. But what if instead that commission, when it was put in a local area, those people were either selected by or voted on or something by the local people there? If that fails, that guy or gal is finished. They have accountability. They're going to care about the local area. If the local area gets better, stronger, faster, whatever it does, or does it collapse? Now, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. People will still make mistakes. Stuff will still get bad. Things will still fail, of course. But at least finally, someone's accountable. Who's accountable for all of the errors New York State has made? No one. No one is. The punishment for failure is more money. So I would like the punishment for failure to be local people say, get out. You screwed up. You're gone. Let's put some money in here. Who cares? Community matters. And let's put communities in charge. That I think will be a big deal. Of course, Braz, I could do a whole show on all the things we should change. I spent 8 hours. Literally, if you guys care, you can go to my Larry Sharpe YouTube, type in 8 hours. I did 8 hours of New York State policy straight. No bathroom break, no food break, 8 hours straight, and ran out of time. That's how much I can change. So Roger's like, give me more. There's 8 hours right there. I would do a whole lot of it. Anyway, let me keep going down here if I can. So Jan says, weren't there talks of Musk to bring robo-taxis to New York City? I haven't heard anything lately. I don't remember that, Jan, but that actually makes sense. I can see that. But again, Elon is now a political figure, and politics is more important than you getting what you want. You getting what you want is like way low on the priorities of politicians. This is literally to his point. It's about grifting. That's the key. That's it. Fred says, I still want to leave New York State once you retire. Yeah. Unless it's a big change, he's going to leave. And so are many. I hope I'm not one of them. Well, that was a bad way of ending the show. Hey, I'm staying. There's a good thing. Guys, thank you so much for giving me a chunk of your afternoon. I will see you all very soon.